U.S. Most Advanced Fighter, the new 6th generation jet with air superiority. It's expected that the U.S. Air Force and the U.S. Navy will not be fielding their first fighters of the 6th generation until at least the year 2030, to replace its current fighter jets like the MD F15 platforms and the F22 Raptor. The U.S. Air Force is working to develop and acquire a fighter of the 6th generation as part of a program known as Next Generation Air Dominance, which is abbreviated as NGAD. The U.S. Navy is pursuing a program that is very similar to the NGAD, but they have rather designated it as the FA-XX. This program is also designed to complement the F-35C and replace the U.S. Navy's older airplanes such as the FA-18EF. In this video, we'll discuss how the U.S. military is going to field its new 6th generation jet until the year 2030. A 6th generation fighter is a conceptual group of jet fighter aircraft design that is more advanced than the 5th generation jet fighter that is currently in service with the U.S. military. In 2008, the United States Navy began developing its 6th generation FA-XX program, while in 2010, the United States Air Force began seeking first responses for its next generation air dominance program. A top-secret fighter plane was planned, constructed, and put through its paces by the U.S. Air Force in just 1 year, as revealed by them in the year 2020. The fighter is being developed as part of the Next Generation Air Dominance program for their air forces, which has the goal of eventually replacing the F-22 Raptor. The intention to retire 33 of the service's older F-22 fighter jets was just recently made public following an announcement. It has been alleged that these jets no longer have the capability to engage in combat, are instead utilized primarily for training purposes. According to a report that was published by the Eurasian Times, the U.S. Air Force has made the decision to redirect that money to the research and development of cutting-edge combat jet designs as part of the NGAD program. The United States military is now working on the design of a 6th generation fighter aircraft that will be compatible with new technologies as they become available. These new technologies will be able to be integrated into the aircraft over time without affecting its core flight system. The software that will control the flight of the United States Air Force's 6th generation fighter is being developed in a manner that is clearly different from the software that will direct the fighter aircraft's mission systems. This separation of the flight control and mission system software would make it possible for the Air Force to implement new technologies that are already in the process of being developed, provided that these new technologies could be accommodated within the aircraft and met the requirements for weight, power, and cooling. The United States NGAD 6th generation fighter has recently been given a boost thanks to a recent proposal for an increase in funds for research and development that was included in the defense budget. This investment might perhaps help the fancy new warplane. This boost may make it possible for the U.S. Air Forces and Navy to debut a cutting-edge aircraft well in advance of its competitors in China and Russia. The general public is only aware of a limited amount of information regarding the NGAD. Although the NGAD's status as a top-secret program is one of the main reasons that there is very less information about it, the program's decoupled software approach raises the possibility that even those with insider knowledge of the NGAD aircraft won't be able to predict what kinds of novel technology will be deployed. U.S. Air Force Chief of Staff General Charles Q. Brown, Jr. stated that there may be 2 variants of NGAD, including one with long-range missions for the Indo-Pacific areas and the other with shorter ranges for possible combat areas in the European continent. General Brown made this statement while addressing the Budget Committee for the Armed Forces for the upcoming fiscal year. The U.S. Air Forces and the Navy each run their own unique NGAD programs. The depiction of the aircraft by the artist shows a warplane in the shape of a triangle that does not have a vertical tail. The NGAD program will produce a fighter jet that has increased speed and maneuverability, as well as better stealth technology and artificial intelligence, or AI, that assists in the data processing. In addition, the NGAD will develop aircraft to be capable of carrying out unmanned missions and participating in manned and unmanned teaming. This is a sort of teamwork in which human pilots work alongside unmanned platforms and drones, such as the Loyal Wingman aircraft. The Navy's and the Air Force's views for their respective next-generation jet concepts are quite different from one another, yet both services are in agreement over a few key qualities. One of these is the use of artificial intelligence as a decision-making help for the pilot, which is conceptually comparable to the use of sensor fusion currently. They will also have positioning, navigation, and timing, in addition to communications that will enable the transfer of large amounts of data between the aircraft of both services. The U.S. Air Force places a high priority on stealth for their sixth-generation aircraft, whereas the United States Navy emphasizes that their aircraft should not place such a high priority on survivability that it compromises speed and payload. Recently, the Secretary of the United States Air Force, Frank Kendall, made the announcement that the development stage for the sixth-generation jet fighter had begun. The Secretary of the Air Force made the announcement while speaking at an event that the Air Force had begun the process of designing and constructing cutting-edge aircraft. He revealed that the fighter of the next generation will be equipped with innovative new armaments, sensing systems, and a variety of drones that would follow the aircraft on missions. Because of the sensitive nature of the program, Kendall was unable to share any further information. NGAD has the possibility to become the most expensive aircraft program in the annals of aviation history. Recently, Kendall informed us that the average price of a piloted aircraft purchased through the program would most certainly be several $100 million. In its budget request to Congress for the fiscal year 2023, the Air Force requested over $1.7 billion to be allocated for NGAD, including $133 million to be allocated for research, development, testing, and evaluation. Kendall stated that he was not interested in demonstrations and experiments unless they were required as a necessary stage on the path to true competence. We usually just do a fast demo and then we have to start the development program and wait several more years because we didn't start the developmental function when we first did the demo. If we do not require it to minimize risks, then we should immediately begin the development for production and move as swiftly as possible toward that goal. And according to what he indicated, he feels such a strong desire to act quickly about the necessity to bring cutting-edge capabilities into the field, such as the uncrewed combat aircraft following manned aircraft, that he is prepared to accept a greater amount of risk. The name of the aircraft manufacturer has not been disclosed, despite the development that has been made on the highly classified sixth-generation fighter program. There is a chance that the NGAD fighter program will be awarded to one of the following companies: Lockheed Martin, Boeing, or Northrop Grumman. Only China and Russia, in addition to the United States, have fighter jets of the fifth generation that are currently in active service. However, the U.S. is attempting to upgrade its air defense system with sixth-generation fighter jets before any of its rival countries can. Even while China is most likely already working on its sixth-generation fighter aircraft, it may be falling behind the United States, which has already produced and tested a prototype of this sort of aircraft. Do you think that the U.S. military would be able to bring the sixth-generation fighter jet into active service by 2030 as claimed? If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for everyday military updates. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below. Thanks for watching.